Sure is nice of you boys to come visit us old fellas. We don't get many visitors these days. My name is Jack Hammer. I'm 95 years old now. 75 years ago, I was a cub reporter on the Evening Sun, Baltimore Evening Sun, great old newspaper. Had a bunch of rascals running it. Renegades of journalism we were. Real people, tough, abrasive reporters, good reporters. Not like the Morning Sun, stuffy, sophisticated. Bunch of Harvard boys over there. Harvard boys looked at the world through ivy-covered glasses. Know what I mean? Anyway, the Evening Sun was a real people's newspaper. Regular people, regular newspaper. Now, I'll never forget the big story of 1985 that showed the contrast in styles and the two personalities of the morning and evening paper. And that was the great Baltimore asbestos murder. That's right. It was the story of the death of Kid Larceny, a low-life gangster who was found in the back of a car. As I recall, in those days, our managing editor was Jack Plum. He was hot for asbestos stories of any kind. The day that story broke, the city editor, Billy Falcon, came barging into Plum's office.
Listen, is it possible Chinenko died of asbestos poisoning? Well, when that report comes up, let me know. Thank you.
Chief! Don't call me Chief, Falcon. What is it?
It's a murder, an asbestos murder.
What? Asbestos? Murder? That's a big one. Get Gordon on it.
Gordon's working on a 3-part series.
Well, Andrews, then.
Andrew's working on a 5-part series.
Well, Carruthers.
Carruthers on a 10-part series.
Damn it! Don't have any reporters around here. Where's Hammer? Hammer! Jack Hammer! Hammer!
Boom, man. Hammer!
Listen, you bum, this is Plum. Get over to Fells Point. We have an asbestos murder and we're on deadline.
I'm there. Fells Point. Something about an asbestos murder.
Well, Bruno and I hightailed it to Fells Point in our fancy Evening Sun staff car. The body of Kid Larceny had been found in the back seat of a car. It was a devastating, a ghastly sight. Anyway, reporters were already on the sidewalk throwing questions at Detective Wysocki of the Baltimore City Police Department.
The body.
It's Bimbo, Sally Sugar Hips.
Sugar Hips? Where can we find this Sugar Hips
I'm not going to comment on that right now.
What time was the body found?
About 11:30 last night.
Was it foul play?
Absolutely.
Funeral arrangements, are they done yet?
No, they're not made yet. We haven't notified the next of kin.
Any sign of asbestos?
What, are you nuts? He was strangled.
Are you saying this is not an asbestos-related death?
That's what I'm saying.
Sweetheart, give me the city desk. Jack Plum.
What's that, Hammer? No asbestos. No asbestos, no front page, you bum. Stay in the story.
It was just then that the Morning Sun arrived on the scene. They sent their ace Harvard graduate, J. Furlong Farnsworth.
Carlo or my notebook, please? Thank you. Now my pen. Very good. Now, would you, Carlo, please keep this car running while I see what these degenerates are up to?
Yes, sir.
Who's this Kid Larceny anyway?
You've got enough information.
Oh, hi, Farnsworth. It's so nice you could join us. You know, you're a real news hound.
What's going on here, Hammer?
Oh, we're waiting for the mayor to dedicate a new fire hydrant. What's it look like? It's a murder.
Officer, what seems to be the circumstances of this unfortunate situation?
Say what?
He wants to know how the stiff got stiff. Will you tell him?
Well, right now, it looks like a strangulation, a beating, torture, and possible sodomy exacerbated by 3 days in a cutlass, a 79 cutlass.
Oh, how ghastly. Do there seem to be any signs of foul play?
We left Farnsworth and the others to get the official story, while me and Bruno hoofed it down the street to Sally Sugarhip's love nest. She had been Kid Larceny's main squeeze, if you know what I mean. They lived in sin. If anyone could tell a tale, it was this dame.
I wanted to ask you a few questions about him.
Sure, but what's there to say?
Well, you know, it's real awful what them mobsters did to the poor kid.
Oh, yeah, I'm real broke up about it.
I'm sure you are, dear. Let me ask you this. Did the kid ever mention asbestos?
Huh?
You know, asbestos.
Oh, you mean that incombustible fibrous mineral used for fireproofing and electrical insulation, now believed to be linked to cancer?
That's the one, Sugar.
No.
No, he never mentioned asbestos.
No.
Well, listen, Sally, if you don't mind, Bruno and I would like to sort of look around the kid's room. Do you mind at all?
Go ahead.
Me and Bruno played detectives. You know, we would do anything to find an asbestos angle for Jack Plum and his front page. And this day we found it. Right on deadline, too.
Bruno! Asbestos!
City desk, this is Hammer. Give me Plum, Jack Plum.
You found asbestos? That's great, kid. Does anyone else have it?
Nah, not unless that wimp from the Morning Sun, Farnsworth, shows up. That guy wouldn't know a news peg if his coat was hanging on it.
Listen, kid, get to a payphone and call in 300 inches. We're on deadline. And by the way, kid, can you give me a picture of Kid Larceny?
Sure. Hey, listen, we'll be there in 10 minutes. Let's go, Bruno.
There was a photograph of Kid Larceny in his apartment. Sally Sugarhips didn't seem all that upset about the kid's untimely death. So I thought I'd borrow the photograph of her dead sweetie. Unfortunately, Farnsworth saw this and decided to give me a speech on journalistic ethics.
Come on, Bruno, come on.
I saw that. That was unethical and not nice.
What's the matter, Farnsworth? Don't you have a fox you can hunt today somewhere?
You, sir, are a cad, an oaf, a brute, and a generally selfish person.
Why don't you go fill in the divots on the Maryland Hunt Cup course, huh?
I demand that you turn that picture over to me right now in the name of journalistic ethics and A.S. Abel.
You want the picture, Fonzie?
I want that picture.
Farnsworth wants the picture.
I want that picture.
Oh, Fonzie, if you want it so much, why don't you come and get it, huh? Right here, Fonzie, yeah?
I'm leaving now. Things are beginning to smell.
Here, Farnsworth.
As it turns out, Farnsworth and the Morning Sun weren't interested in the story that much. Names is news, and Kid Larceny was not a big name.
Maybe it's worth 2 or 3 paragraphs. The victim? Who's the victim? Oh, well, let's put it this way. You won't find him on the board of Legg Mason. Now, about the Commission on Foreign Relations meeting tonight, can I cover it? Can I?
We had an exclusive for 3 days running. It was the big story of 1985, and the Morning Sun never knew what hit him. The Evening Sun won all sorts of awards for its coverage of the asbestos murder. Jack Plum and Billy Falcon were quite pleased with themselves. Oh, those were the good old days. 2 newspapers with 2 distinct personalities. When you saw them walking down the street, you could tell a Morning Sun reporter from an Evening Sun reporter. The Morning Sun called themselves one of the world's great newspapers. We called ourselves one of the world's newspapers. Well, I left the city room that day full of asbestos and pride, but without a quarter to my name. Yes, sir. Those were the good old days. Hard work, and you made enemies, and you put in long hours, and you groused about headlines and deadlines, but mostly, it was a lot of fun. Mostly, those were happy days. Yes, sir.